Hey, Justin, how you doing?
Good.
Um, I was looking on the internet today, and Joe Lenardi, Mr. ESPN bracketology guy, has got you guys a 3 seed. Or no, actually, CBS. Jerry Palm's got you guys a 3 seed. ESPN's got you as a 5. Dick Vitale tweeted something out the other night, congratulating you guys on beating Alabama. Um, yeah, obviously, it's hard to not see all these things. But I know you want to focus on LSU. Kind of, what's the balance there where you want to enjoy the success, but still stay focused on the task at hand?
Um, I think it's kind of how you all react to it. If you let all that go to your head or make you feel comfortable, then it becomes sort of an issue where you kind of get complacent and you may take things a little bit. You may not do what got us here. So I mean, especially after the Alabama game, I think we all were able to kind of like sit in that moment for a little bit. But after that game, luckily we have a quick turnaround, so we have to be able to focus on LSU now. So I just think that allowing yourself to be in that moment helps, and then that also allows you to move on and look forward to what's next.
Are you guys still as hungry, you think, as when you started this SEC winning streak?
Yeah, definitely. I think we still feel like we have something to prove. Um, and I think that each and every night we're going out there trying to prove that. Um, I mean, I don't know. It's just we're just a hungry group. We haven't really been complacent throughout this stretch, and I think that it's a testament to kind of our mindset going in, where it's like, yeah, we can do all these things, but there's still more that we want to get done. I mean, and it's definitely exciting to have that kind of mentality.
I got a couple more out if time allows. I'll turn it back to Mike. Thanks.
Nate,
Just as far as LSU, how much is there to prove considering what happened in the first game?
Um, there's definitely some stuff to prove. I mean, the LSU game and the Alabama game are kind of blips on the radar for our season. So, and I think the ending margin wasn't as lopsided as the Alabama one was earlier in the season, but I think we were still down by 30 or 40 at one point during the game. So we kind of have to right that ship and kind of figure out and kind of show people that again was just a fluke and we're a different team.
The whole LSU starting 5 scored double figures. What do y'all have to do defensively that you didn't do there?
We have to not allow them to get easy baskets and not let them get to their tendencies. We can't allow Thomas to be able to get off threes or get to the free throw line. We have to make things difficult on them. And I think the reason that our defense has improved is because our help side defense has really gotten better because of I think we just were able to kind of get in a groove and really work on our fundamentals on defense. So, having had, the experience that we've had so far through the season, I think it'll be a different defensive showing for sure.
Thank you.
Curtis.
Hey, Justin, one of the last times we had you, you mentioned that you didn't feel like your explosion was all the way back, but it seems like the last couple games you've been playing, eye level at the rim. Do you feel like you're starting to get back to 100%, close to it?
Yeah, definitely close to it. I mean, like I said earlier, 100% is probably not going to happen until after the season. And I mean, nobody's really at 100% at this point in the season. Everybody has a bunch of nicks and dings and stuff like that. But I'm really happy with the progress that I've made over the past couple of weeks with my explosiveness. And, I'm glad that it has started to come back for a little bit.
And then LSU has 2 guys that play a similar position to you and Watford and Darius Days. They both had some pretty big games against Arkansas in the past. I assume you'll be guarding, one or both of them throughout the day tomorrow. How big of a key is it to contain them a little bit better?
It's definitely a big key. I mean, they do a lot of different things for them. I mean, especially on the offensive end, Watford with his scoring and his passing, and then Dave with his shooting and his rebounding. So, finding different ways to keep them from, doing what they like to do is definitely important. You know, we're really just kind of locked in and trying to, you know, figure out ways to contain them.
Scotty?
Hey, Justin, I'm wondering what kind of a chemistry you feel you've built with Jalen Williams. You know, the last several games you guys have played really well together, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really easy player to play with. I'm sure if you ask everybody else on the team, they feel the same way. I mean, he just does, you know, all the little things that you need. I mean, he's leading our team in charges. I mean, that makes it easier for the guards to get up and get in their guy, so that if they do go by him, there's going to be somebody either that's going to block shots, which he does well, or take a charge. He rebounds really well. And I mean, that's just being able to feed off of that energy that he brings into the game. It kind of elevates everybody else. And, you know, he's a very valuable part to what we've been doing the past however many games.
How good did it feel to kind of turn it on in the second half personally, you know, maybe after a little bit of a slow start on Wednesday?
It felt good. I mean, I really wasn't too worried. I mean, we were winning. So, I mean, as long as that we were winning, it really didn't matter to me. I think just in the first half, I was pressing a little bit, but I mean, the game, it's a game of two halves. And I know I figured out a little bit of different things based on the way that they were playing me offensively. And I was able to exploit that in the second half. I mean, that was just a really good overall team effort. And I think, you know, after we got hit in the mouth, we were able to really respond as well. So the second half was a lot of fun.
Jacob?
Justin, senior day tomorrow, what were your expectations coming into this season with the new team, and how has that kind of been altered or lived up to your expectations now that we're only 3 games away from the end of the regular season?
You know, the reason that I came here, honestly, was to win. I felt like this place, out of all of my choices, had the best opportunity for the team and myself to be successful together and to win basketball games. And I'd say so far, it's definitely lived up to the expectations. I mean, it's been a lot. I mean, winning is always fun. It's been a lot of fun playing here and playing with this group of guys and playing for Coach Muss. And I think it's definitely met all of my expectations that I had going into it.
Bob?
Hey, Justin, I honestly can't remember if they had the senior day ceremony before or after the last game last year. But do you know, it can get emotional, you know. Do you like having the ceremony after the game rather than before the game?
I mean, I don't know. I really don't have a preference. I mean, at Indiana, we did it after the game. If we won, it felt great. If we didn't, it wasn't that great, but it was still a special moment. No, I'm not really particular about whichever one I'd rather have. It's just a good moment to be able to share with the coaches and teammates about, you know, kind of take a reflection of what you were able to accomplish.
You have family coming in, I assume?
That is to be determined.
Okay. Well, and COVID, that's kind of the way everything is,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Eric told us the other night after the game that after he told you guys the A&M game had gotten canceled, you know, the game down there, that, I don't know, 20 minutes or something later, you came in and said, hey, if we can play a really good team, somebody's going to win their conference, you know, that's good, but we don't want to play, you know, just to play. We'd rather just move on to Alabama. Was that somewhere some of the other guys came to you and said, hey, could you talk to coach about this, or kind of how did that happen?
Well, when Coach told us, we were all kind of sitting in the locker room, and then after he left, we kind of, you know, talked about it, whether or not we would be, if we really wanted to play a game. And I mean, as a group, we kind of decided that, you know, if we were going to play, you know, a big marquee team, that we'd be willing to do that, because, you know, that's always fun, that's always exciting, and, you know, build our resume and kind of be able to test ourselves before going into the home stretch of the season. But I mean, there's always, you know, risks associated. We didn't want to, you know, at a game that really didn't mean as much to us, you know, and have somebody get injured or maybe have a close contact or any, you know, anything that can go wrong these days. We didn't really want to have anything, you know, to slow down our progress and our momentum that we had going toward the Alabama. And we really wanted to win the Alabama game. So we really wanted to prepare for that and be ready for it.
Yeah, let's go more. I know LSU was the last game you didn't play. At least I think that's right. Did you
Mhm.
make that trip? Were you on the bench there just watching?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Well, watching it on, I assume you're watching it on TV, and especially like say if they're big guys kind of going to town. I mean, what do you remember was going through your mind? Did you have a feeling like, well, man, I can't wait to play these guys in Fayetteville? Just kind of what was it like watching that game on TV, and how did that maybe motivate you for this rematch?
I mean, watching that game, I was frustrated because I was close to coming back, and I really, in my mind, I had wanted to make that game the game that I came back. But you know, the way that my rehab and everything was going, that wasn't going to be the case, and so I was frustrated with that, and then I was also frustrated just kind of how the game went, you know, and just watching what they were doing, and kind of had like a helpless feeling. I really wanted to be out there and, you know, make an impact and see if and me being out there being able to guard either Days or Watford would you know, maybe have made the game go a little bit differently. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to play this game. We're looking forward to it, and you know, hopefully we can avenge what happened earlier in the season.
I'm good. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a question for Justin before we dismiss him? Good. All right, Justin, appreciate your time.